Hello, welcome back to the James Rambling Reviews for yet another episode. And in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about the new Ahsoka series, the new Star Wars series that I did actually tease in a James Rambling Show episode last week. And so before we dive into my thoughts of the series as a whole, I'm just going to give you that usual background knowledge and kind of make you understand how I kind of go into these sorts of things. So when it comes to Ahsoka and kind of this whole Star Wars Disney Plus stuff, well, if you knew a while back, I did this review of Kenobi, and then I did this review of Mandalorian, and I also did like this review of Andor, and I was kind of sharing my thoughts on those. Well, I've had interesting feelings about it because there's been like a mixed bag where I've really enjoyed something about a series, and then I've really hated something about a series, and it's kind of been like that. And this series also kind of refers back to Rebels, which I haven't seen entirely, and as you're gonna find it in this review, personally, I didn't actually have to watch the whole entire Rebels to understand it. Maybe there was some references in there. So once we get inside of this review, inside of what the plot is, so pretty much what this is about, it's about Ahsoka, but then you've also got these characters from Rebels that kind of play into this. You've also got like Thrawn, who's the main big bad guy of this entire series. So you've got all these elements in there. So how do I actually feel about the series, right? It's got your 8 episodes, right? So first 2 episodes, right? Definitely pretty slow. Then there's that third episode that's like very action packed. And then there's like episode 4 and 5 where we start to kind of integrate Anakin and his relevance with Ahsoka and how Anakin is the master of Ahsoka. So you get that in there. Then you've got Finding Ezra Bridger that actually happens at episode 6. So you kind of get that stuff. You've also got the Thrawn stuff, right? So that's kind of my thoughts there. Like, I actually do enjoy this series. It's just there's a lot of pacing issues, and especially like to do with Ezra Bridger, right? It's like this thing about how Sabine Wren is like, I'm gonna find Ezra Bridger, and then it takes till episode 6 till it happens, and then she also has this thing where she gets like attacked by a lightsaber and she doesn't die, and it's kind of strange. So you kind of have that, and so it's kind of an interesting one here. And so I do enjoy this series. I do like how it's kind of, I actually find it easier to understand as well. Like, there are quite simple ideas in here. You're fighting the bad guys and stuff like that. And another thing I got to mention this, right? This is kind of a spoiler, so if you've not seen the series, right, I will have to say that when it gets to the end of the series, especially like when they go up against Thrawn, I did find this interesting that like the bad guys actually won in the end. Like usually in Star Wars, right, that the good guys are mostly supposed to win these battles, but it actually was kind of interesting seeing Thrawn kind of go out of there and stuff like that. Just one thing about that was just like we didn't see enough of Thrawn. So how would I actually rate every episode? So the first 2 episodes were like a 5 out of 10 for me. So it's kind of like this average, kind of slow thing. Episode 3 was pretty enjoyable to say the least. Like you got these battles going on and these star fights and stuff like that. I did actually enjoy that. So maybe like a 6 or whatever. And there's a lot of points, right? I would definitely give this series maybe like a 7 out of 10. Like, I'm not saying this series is the worst thing ever. It's not a perfect series, but it's definitely one of your more bearable Star Wars shows. Would I recommend it to anybody? Well, I would definitely recommend it to people that, you don't really need to watch Rebels to understand it, but I feel like to appreciate some more ideas like the references about Ezra Bridger and stuff like that, yeah, you're definitely going to need to watch some Rebels and enjoy that, I guess. So, other than that, right, I hope you enjoy this episode of the James Rambling Reviews where it was like on a Thursday instead of your Saturday schedule stuff. Hopefully, we'll get some more reviews out and stay tuned for more reviews like that. This might be a bit of a shorter review. So, other than that, right, Ahsoka, right, Rebels and all that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Bye, bye, bye. Another Star Wars series review is out. Wonder how many views this will get. Well, we'll see. We will see indeed. So bye, 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 bye. Bye, 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 bye. I just reviewed Ahsoka. Peace out. Bye, I'll get out of here already.